So let's take a look at this worksheet. First, I need to figure out the size of the intervals, which is the number part. Okay, and I'm gonna write this down as well. So here's a worksheet. Okay, let's start with Gary and Nakia, right? Okay. Well, what's the size of this interval right here on the upper left? Fourth. Excellent. Okay. Next one we have over here. Mark, what do you have for this interval here?
Third.
Third. Excellent. Okay. We're just counting. Erica, what's the interval over here in this box?
Seven.
Seventh. Okay. Why seventh?
Because the seven part on when you count the notes, the bottom notes, spaces.
Good. So you can start with, I'm going to rephrase what you said. Okay. So in case this is not clear, we're starting with the bottom note. And then we're counting lines and spaces from top to the top. So from this is an F. Okay, we're counting then F. Zoom in here. F, G, A, B, C, D, E. F, G, A, B, C, D, E is 7. Okay, so it's 7th. Also, just a reminder that we're starting with the bottom note and we're counting that bottom note as 1 as part of your calculations. Okay. Next, we have this lovely interval. Destiny, what do you have for that? Yeah. What's octave? Okay. You can write eighth, but it's more accurate if it's octave. I would accept either one. It's okay if you don't really want to remember that, but just know that if you keep going in music, if you say eighth, people might not understand what you mean. Right? But octave is the correct term. Right? Next, we have this guy. Joshua, what do you have for that? Fifth. Okay. And then finally, this lovely interval, which is from an A to an F. Alex, what do you have for that?
I have 6.
6. Okay. Moving on to the bottom part. Okay. I need to name the quality. Okay. First of all, any questions about the counting? Right. I think we're good. Okay. Quality and size. Okay. So here's where you have to remember that I'm telling you that these are all diatonic intervals. Okay. So these are only going to be either major or perfect. So this is where you have to remember that major is the quality we use for 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th, and perfect is what we use for 4th, 5th, and octave, and unison. Right. So let's start with this guy. Daquan, what's the first one?
Major 5.
Major 5. Why? There are indeed 5. There's 5 steps between A and E. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Why major?
Because it's not an octave or any of the other numbers that you say were perfect. It's not
Okay. What's the quality we use for unison, 4, 5, and octave? Perfect. Right. So this is a perfect 5th, not a major 5th. Okay. So be careful about that. In fact, major 5th doesn't exist. Okay. It's I'll tell you a story about why this is perfect or major later on, maybe. But right now, just remember that. Right. The second one, I have 2 notes here, E and C. Okay. Tatiana, what do you have for this? Major 3rd. Why major 3rd? Good. You counted a 3rd. Okay. And because it's a 3rd, it's major. Okay. Well, from the bottom up, then I would more accurately say that it's from C to E. Sure. Okay. Yes. I mean, it matters when we talk about what note is in the bottom, because if the C were an octave higher, okay, this is no longer a major 3rd; it's actually a minor 6th. Right. Right. I will. We'll get to that a little bit. Okay. How about this one? Rebecca, what do you have for that? Major 3rd. Excellent. Okay. Again, we counted a 3rd, so since it's a 3rd, it's a major 3rd. Okay. Next, I have this interval. Xavier, what's this?
looking at that one.
Yep.
Major 7.
Major 7th. Right. Right. and then I have this guy. Jalissa, you want to take a crack at it? It's what's that? Perfect octave. Excellent. The abbreviation, if you'd like, you can also use 8VE. That's a common abbreviation. So instead of 8TH, you use 8VE, which tells someone that it's an octave. You can also say perfect octave. Okay. By the way, the abbreviations for all of this at the moment is just the letter P or M. Okay. If you use abbreviation, that's fine. For the major for M, please use an uppercase M. This is important because we'll be moving on to something called a minor interval in a little bit. Okay. Okay. Next, a few more here. I have this guy. Okay. Mark.
Perfect fourth.
Perfect fourth. Right. Good. Again, we're looking at the bottom note is C, and F is part of the C major scale. So this is a fourth, and it's not only a fourth; it's a perfect fourth. Okay, it's going down. Okay. This guy is Tiffany. What interval is this? Major third. M3. Right. And then we have this is Tammy. What interval is this?
Perfect 2.
Perfect 2. Why perfect 2? It is indeed a second. Okay. But seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths are not perfect. They're major. Okay. So this is, you can adjust that to major second. That's all you need to do. This is an odd looking one with two notes together, which means that both of these notes are sounding at the same time, but you won't hear it because it's the same note. So what's the interval here? Jamie, what's the interval?
A unison.
Okay, what kind of unison?
Perfect.
Perfect unison. All right. You can also say PU if you'd like. Okay.
He just got it.
Okay, last row. I have a fourth. This is a perfect fourth. Okay, because you've got a fourth here. Okay, and fourths again is perfect. Perfect is unison, fourth, fifth, and octave, and second, third, sixth, and seventh is major. Okay, last two. What else? Tatiana, what's this one? Major six. Okay, and then finally you've got this guy, which is a major second. Okay, so these are all the intervals, okay, that you need to write. Okay, again, the format for the quiz on next Tuesday will be very similar to this. This is all I need you to do. This should be pretty straightforward. Right? You're counting for the first part, the interval. Okay? The second part, you're naming the quality and size of the interval, and they're all going to be diatonic intervals. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna again, if you need to review this, please take a look at the video, and we'll go. It's new. Okay, so here's the top part. Number one, name the intervals. The first one is an minor 6. Okay, I can't do the horizontal line on the computer. I'm sorry, but you do it. Right. So the next one, okay, I have number 2 here. What do you have, Daquan?
Minor 2.
Why minor 2?
Because I just counted 2 steps. 2 lines.
Why not major 2?
Because there's a flat next.
That's not the definition. Okay, I've never. This is important. I've never once said if there's a flat, it's a minor interval. Okay.
Oh, because of this.
Okay. No, it seems like I'm like picking on it, but it's not. Okay. Just let's clear it from here. Okay. Major interval. What makes a major interval? Yeah.
One, the key signature has to be major, but from the keynote, start from the keynote.
Which one is the keynote here?
The keynote would be F.
F. Okay. The bottom note. Okay. The question I'm asking about whether or not it's a major interval or not. Let's just start there. okay, is whether or not the top note is part of the major scale built on the bottom note. Okay? Right now I have a G flat as a top note, F is the bottom note. The question I'm asking is G flat part of the major scale built on F? Okay? So F major has one flat. Okay? And you can take a look at that from the key signatures. You're shaking your head.
It's not built on the G.
It's not. Okay, good. I was like, you're like, no, you're an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what it is. I was like,
Never.
okay, so G flat is not part of the scale built on F because yes, F has only one flat. Right? Now you can also reverse this question. Right? If it helps you, you can ask, okay, what kind of G is part of F major? If you take away all the accidentals, okay, just say like, okay, what kind of G is part of F major? Well, I can go through the scales and I could look through a chart and say that, okay, the F major scale has F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E. So G by itself, no accidentals, okay, is part of the F major scale. So F to G is a major second. Now, that's not what we have. We have G to F to G flat. It's decreased by a half step, which means this is a minor second. Right? This is a very long-winded way of explaining this, and in some ways, yes, they find you're right. There's a flat to it, okay, but that's not the reason. Okay? If you just see a flat, it's not. It doesn't mean that it's a minor second. Okay. Good. Here's this one. Why is this a minor third? Yeah, Tiffany.
Because the bottom note is a G, so you have the bottom like bottom note, so you have to choose G on major.
Right.
And because it's a B flat, it's not in the key.
What kind of B is part of G major, Erica? What kind of B is part of G major?
Just regular B.
Just regular B, right? Because G major is one sharp, F sharp. That's it. All the other notes don't have any sharps or flats. Okay, so G to B, of course, is a major third. That's not what we have with G to B flat. And if you look at the keyboard, G to B and then G to B flat, it's smaller. Okay, this concept of smaller and bigger could be confusing, but G to B flat is a smaller interval than G to B natural. So that's why this is a minor third. Trickier one. I have this guy. Jamie, what's this one?
It's a minor 7.
Why minor 7?
Well, it's a 7 because it's 7, you know.
It's definitely 7. Yep.
And then in the it's not the F isn't in the F natural isn't in G major.
The F natural is not in G major. What note is? What kind of F is part of G major?
F sharp.
F sharp. Okay. So that's not what we have with F natural, which means that it's a half step smaller. Okay. So again, this is a minor 7. Okay. How about? Okay. Any questions on this at the moment? Okay. Yes, Alex.
So I don't really have a question, but I can just tell you what I wrote down from what you said.
Okay.
Like a quick trick. On
Good,
how to
quick
figure
trick.
out. Like this is what I said from it. It said one. It's a half step smaller, lower than the major interval. Would that sound right?
Yeah. So the idea here is that it's not a half step lower per se. It's a half step smaller. Because here's the thing.
I said small. I wrote small.
Okay.
So then I said lower.
Because here's the thing. We've been talking about adjusting the top note to make it smaller. The fact is, you can also adjust the bottom note and make it go up to also make the interval smaller. Right. So if you imagine intervals being like this. Look at me here for a second. Okay. So 2 notes. Right. You can lower the top one, which makes the distance smaller. Okay. Come back. Okay. You can also raise the top to make it smaller. Right. So it's more useful to think about size of interval as bigger and smaller rather than higher or lower.
Okay.
Right? We're talking about size. Intervals count the distance between 2 notes. Right? So that's why it's useful to say bigger size, smaller size, major, minor, etc. This is also a minor 6th. Okay. I just want to illustrate this because both of this one, G to E flat, and also G to F natural, they're both looking at the bottom note, which is G. I'm going to skip over to this second one for a little bit, and I'm going to just do a few of them. I don't know if this is going to work because I can't put a flat or anything, but Here it is. Okay. The first one is going to be an A flat. Just pretend there's a flat here. Let me see if I can write a flat. Okay. Why A flat for this? Yeah, that's why A flat. Okay. A natural is part of F major. Okay. But instead here I have
Minor.
A flat. Right. Okay. So this is a bit of math. Okay. But it's also a little bit of music. Okay. Remember when we looked at a song just at the beginning where the artist uses the same interval over and over again to sort of get at a sound here, sort of a hook. Right. So here we're going sort of deeper into how can we analyze, how can we think about the music that we're listening to, okay, in these terms. Right? We're talking about notes that are one after another, the size of the distance between the two, and also two notes that are on top of each other, and what's the distance between those two. Right? So today, that's what we did. So what's the first thing we did today? Just want to wrap up. What's the first thing we did today? Gary?
We forgot like which one goes to the major scale and which one.
The very first thing, just the
Major scale.
second, third, fourth, fifth, naming those numbers. How do you do that? Yep. And how do you find the interval between two notes?
You start from the bottom.
Good.
And you count up to the.
You count up to the top. Okay, just count it. Okay. Then Gary, we figured out the major and perfect. So which intervals are major? In
Major is second, third, sixth, and seventh.
good. And which ones are perfect?
First, fourth, and fifth.
Unison, fourth, fifth, and octave.
Okay.
And then finally, we introduced this bit. I talked about minor intervals. What intervals can be changed to minor? What numbers? 2, 3, 6, and 7. Excellent. Okay. Good. For your homework for next time,